It is not just a tool of deterrence, it is a massive floating target. This is how the Iranian General Staff described the arrival of the USS Abraham Lincoln in the region. In 2026, the rhetoric coming out of Tehran has shifted from diplomacy to a direct ultimatum. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claims it has the power to sink this titan in a matter of minutes. While the world views the USS Abraham Lincoln as the pinnacle of American naval supremacy, Iranian military planners see something else, a high-value ammunition depot waiting for a spark. The Iranian response will not come through a traditional ship-to-ship battle. Instead, it will arrive as a drone hurricane, a saturation strategy designed to force billion-dollar technology to collapse under the sheer physical weight of low-cost, disposable hardware. Can defensive mathematics hold when infinite numbers become the ultimate weapon? To understand the risks surrounding the USS Abraham Lincoln, one must look at the geography. The Strait of Hormuz, where 30% of the world's seaborne oil passes, is the IRGC's home turf. Here, the narrow waters become an enemy to massive carriers. Iran no longer threatens only from the coastline. It now possesses motherships. The Shahid Bagheri, originally a massive container ship, has been converted into Iran's first dedicated drone carrier. At over 240 meters long, with an angled flight deck, the Shahid Bagheri allows Iran to launch drone swarms far beyond its territorial waters. This means the USS Abraham Lincoln could face an attack before it even enters the Persian Gulf, while still in the Arabian Sea or the Indian Ocean.
In 2026, the IRGC moved into a phase of geopolitical veto. The concept is terrifyingly simple, launching hundreds of Shahed 136 and Arash drones in a single coordinated volley. In military science, we call this defensive saturation. Every combat system, no matter how advanced, has a finite number of tracking channels. If the destroyers escorting the USS Abraham Lincoln can intercept 100 targets simultaneously, the Iranian plan is to send 500. The math is cold and unforgiving. Even if the defensive systems intercept 490 drones, the remaining 10 are enough to cause catastrophic damage. A single drone costing $20,000 could end the mission of a ship costing $13 billion.
Iran relies on technical diversity to confuse the defenses of the USS Abraham Lincoln. The Shahed drones, made of radar-absorbent composites, have a tiny signature and fly at low altitudes, hiding behind the sea's clutter. But the most dangerous threat in 2026 is the Jazz 313, a stealthy jet-powered drone. This platform is designed to compress reaction time. It approaches at high speeds, making it nearly impossible for the phalanx CIWS defending the USS Abraham Lincoln to track and engage before impact. Additionally, Mohajer 6 drones act as the eyes of the swarm, directing the suicide units toward the carrier's specific weak points via real-time targeting data. Iran does not need to physically sink the USS Abraham Lincoln to win the battle. The strategic goal is a mission kill. One successful hit on the flight deck renders billions of dollars in F-35 aircraft useless. They cannot launch or land. A hit on the AN/SPY-6 radar array turns the carrier into a blind giant. A carrier that cannot launch its planes or guide its defenses is strategically neutralized. The IRGC knows that the USS Abraham Lincoln is a delicate environment. A secondary explosion of jet fuel or munitions on the deck, triggered by a drone, could lead to a chain reaction that destroys the carrier from the inside out. Washington is not standing still. In 2026, the Navy began implementing the Replicator program, the rapid acquisition of thousands of low-cost drones to form a living shield around the USS Abraham Lincoln. The goal is to fight swarms with swarms, algorithms battling algorithms. Defenses have also been bolstered with directed energy weapons like the Helios laser, which destroys drone electronics with light, bypassing the need for expensive missiles. The coming battle for the USS Abraham Lincoln will be a test of whose artificial intelligence can manage chaos faster. As the USS Abraham Lincoln sails through these tense waters, it carries a message of power that still dominates the seas. But in the shadows, silent swarms are redefining what power means. It is no longer about who has the largest ship, but who can control the sky at the lowest cost. History tells us that every great weapon eventually meets an enemy it didn't expect. Will the USS Abraham Lincoln remain the master of the seas, or has the era of saturation finally arrived to end the age of traditional naval hegemony?
If you were in the Combat Operations Center aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln and 500 suicide drones appeared on your radar, what would be your first move? Share your analysis in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to stay informed on the world's most critical military shifts.